few months ago, we predicted the 23-24 Premier League standings super early, before all the rumors, before all the confirmed transfers. Things have changed since then. A lot of players have left Premier League clubs, and a lot of players have joined Premier League clubs, and some players even switched Premier League clubs. So because a lot has happened in the past couple of months, we gotta do an updated tier list, updated 23-24 Premier League table. The Premier League season is only a few days away, and this is the way it's gonna work. We have 6 categories and all the Premier League clubs that will be participating in the 23-24 Premier League season. We're gonna go from team to team and place them in the category where I think they're going to finish this season. Okay, first team on the list is Aston Villa. They had an incredible season last year, unbelievable with Unai Emery. We've talked about it before, and they upgraded their squad. Pau Torres, Moussa Diaby, Yuri Tielemans has joined them already. I mean, they're looking beefy, guys. They're looking very exciting to watch, and I think they won't disappoint us. They're not gonna disappoint us. They're gonna finish in the top 5, 6, 7 teams. They will qualify for some sort of European competition again, and they'll probably win the Conference League too. Arsenal, the Gunners, also had a very good season last year, and I think they improved by signing Declan Rice. What an incredible signing. Jurrien Timber also has come in, and of course Kai Havertz. I'm hoping Kai Havertz kind of improves on the season he had last year with Chelsea, because he was not great with Chelsea last year whatsoever. But I think they're still going to have a very, very good season. They brought in some good players, and I think they're gonna just continue rolling. They're not gonna win. They're definitely not gonna win, but I think they're gonna come second, probably second or third. Arsenal definitely top. Brentford also had a very surprising season last year. They performed admirably, they performed well, but with the suspension of Ivan Toney, I don't know if they're going to be able to replicate the same success they had last year. I still think they're going to stay up in the Premier League. I'm not sure exactly where. I'd probably put them mid-table, but probably like the lower mid-table in like the 11th/12th position. They're definitely not going to qualify for any European spots because there's a lot of much better teams that underperformed last season, but I think they're going to stay up. They're going to stay safe, and when Toney comes back, they're going to get that reassurance. They're going to get some more offensive firepower. Hopefully Mbeumo can carry the torch until that happens. Brighton, what a story, what a season. One of my favorite teams to watch last year in the Premier League. I mean, who didn't like watching Mitoma and McAllister? Evan Ferguson, where did he come from? Nobody knows, but he's absolutely amazing. They also made some decent signings, but they had some players leave. McAllister has left. Caicedo seems like he's on the way out. They've brought in guys like Mahmoud Daoud to kind of help him out. They brought in James Milner as well from Liverpool, and they will be also participating in the Europa League this season. Don't forget that. They'll be playing European football. Brighton will be playing in Europe. How they're going to do this season? Do they qualify again for maybe a Conference League, especially with the updated Champions League and Europa League and Conference League table, how you can have like a million teams qualify now? I think they finish mid-table. I think they finish higher mid-table, probably in like the 8th. I think they finish like 8th, maybe 9th, but they're still gonna have a good season, and I think they're gonna probably progress quite high in the Europa League as well. Maybe they can even win it. Bournemouth, the Cherries, they stayed up by the skin of their teeth last year. They pulled up some wins. Remember that away win against Tottenham? That's a classic. That is a classic. 3-2, I believe. I don't know how they won it, but they did, and they stayed up. They brought in a couple of decent players, specifically Justin Kluivert. Justin Kluivert came in from Roma. It's a big signing, especially for a club like Bournemouth. Patrick Kluivert's son, if you didn't know this. Will he live up to the hype? Will he live up to the expectations? I hope so. I think he's going to be a good player for them. I think Bournemouth will avoid relegation, and I think they finish somewhere in the bottom half. They might be battling some relegation, like maybe they'll be battling a little bit, but I think they stay up. They definitely stay up. Maybe 14th, 15th, 16th, maybe even 17th, but Bournemouth definitely stays up. And now we come to Burnley. What a season they had last year. I mean, very exciting team, very exciting squad to watch. They're not the Burnley of old. They're the Burnley of new, with the new manager, of course, Vincent Kompany, who's done wonders at Burnley. I mean, they ain't playing that 4-4-2 boring anymore, that kickabout stuff anymore. They're exciting. They're a pleasure to watch. I mean, they create great chances, and I think they're gonna stay up. I think they're gonna stay up in the Premier League, same place around Bournemouth, maybe even 17th, but I think Burnley definitely stays up. You never know. They're gonna surprise. I think they're gonna surprise some teams. I think they're gonna surprise the Premier League this season. And then we get Chelsea, an atrocious season last year. They couldn't score like ever. It seemed like they couldn't score a single goal last year. It was just clean sheet after clean sheet against them. They did create a lot of chances though, but they didn't have the finishing. But Nkunku and Nicholas Jackson have come in, and I mean, I was somewhat impressed with Nkunku. I mean, Nkunku is Nkunku. I was definitely more impressed with Nicholas Jackson. I'll be honest with you. Nicholas Jackson might be that guy. He might be him, guys. Nicholas Jackson might be him, and I think he's going to propel Chelsea into a better position than last year, because Chelsea finished 12th last year. I think think Chelsea definitely qualifies for Europe this season. Do they qualify for a Champions League spot? I'm going to say probably not. Not this year, maybe next year, because guys like Mudryk probably still a little bit of development, and Nkunku and Jackson probably need a season to settle in. But I mean, don't get me wrong, Nkunku and Nicholas Jackson are quality players, and I think especially Nicholas Jackson is going to do very well at Chelsea. Very, very well. I'm excited to watch him. I'm not even a Chelsea fan, and I'm excited to watch Nicholas Jackson and Nkunku play. And I'm excited to see Mudryk's development, to see if he can have better season than he did last year, because he made some mistakes last year. He was definitely quite inconsistent, but he showed that quality and he showed that promise. So I think Chelsea definitely finishes in a Europe spot, probably Europa League. I'm going to say probably 5th or 6th. Crystal Palace, they stayed up last year. Do they have hope of staying up this year? Well, they don't have Wilfried Zaha anymore. He's left for Galatasaray. That Wilfried Zaha reign at Crystal Palace is over, and it looks like Michael Olise may also be leaving. I saw that Man City is interested in him. Now, will that turn out? I'm not 100% sure. For now, Michael Olise is a Crystal Palace player. They're definitely going to need him. They will need him if they have any chance of surviving. They're definitely going to need him, and you know what? I think they will survive. I think they're going to survive, but they're going to be in that bottom half as well, kind of like the 15th, 16th, 17th place. Everton is next, another team that heavily underperformed last season, just like Chelsea. It looked like they're going to get relegated. It looked like they were going to go down. Well, it didn't happen. It didn't happen. Everton stayed up by the skin of their teeth, just like Bournemouth did, and I think they're going to stay up again this season, where I mean, they brought in a couple of decent players. They brought in Ashley Young. They brought in Arnaud Danjuma, I believe, from Villarreal for on a loan fee. I think he's going to help them out. Do they have the quality to stay up? I think so. They're definitely not going to be in the bottom 3. Where, I mean, probably like here, somewhere in like 12th, maybe 12th, or is that too high for them? Is that too high? It might be too high. I think that's too high. I think that's too high for Everton. We're going to put them down here with the Bournemouth, Burnley, and Crystal Palace. I think this is where they end up, but they probably end up in like the 13th, 14th spot and stay up pretty comfortably. Fulham. I had high hopes for Fulham, guys. I don't think I have high hopes for Fulham anymore. Mitrovic has left. Their goal-scoring machine, he's left, and I mean, they brought in Jimenez from Wolves to kind of repair the damage and kind of like a band-aid signing. I mean, do they stay up? I think Fulham stays up. You know, are they going to improve on their season? Probably not. I had high hopes for them on improvement this season, especially if Mitro stayed, but he didn't stay. So I think Fulham definitely stay up, probably in the 12th. You know what? Maybe we can even turn it around like this. I think Everton probably finishes above Fulham this season. They definitely stay up, though. I think Fulham stays up. It might be a struggle to keep up and stay up above that relegation zone, but I think at the end of the day, they're not going to be relegated. Now we come to a club that, by their standards, had a very disappointing season last year, and I kind of have to agree, and that club is Liverpool. Liverpool didn't do great last year. They were very inconsistent. Some games they showed promise, and that looked like they can win the entire thing, and then in some games they just got absolutely annihilated. The defense was not great. Trent Alexander-Arnold wasn't great defensively last season. I think they're definitely looking to improve this season, and I think they will. They brought in 2 key signings so far. Dominic Szoboszlai, he's going to be absolutely fantastic, creative mastermind, and Alexis McAllister, what a signing, what a season he had with Brighton last year. It's sad to see him leave Brighton, because Brighton will be playing in Europa League this season, but I mean, it's also good to see him join a bigger club, right? Liverpool, I mean, he deserves it. He definitely deserves it, and I think he's going to be very, very well at Liverpool, and I think Liverpool come back and they finish in a Champions League spot. Luton Town, they will definitely be the story of the season this year. It doesn't matter what happens. They came up to the Premier League. No one expected Luton Town to be in the Premier League. Have you seen their stadium, guys? I love it, though. I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. Kudos to them to qualifying for the Premier League. I mean, kudos to them for getting this far. I think their journey, unfortunately, ends, though, and I think they go right back down. Would I like to see them stay up? I would absolutely love to see them stay up, but I'm just thinking, like, rationally. I'm trying to think rationally and not trying to, you know, be a Luton fanboy. I think they go down, guys. Let's be realistic here. I don't think they have the quality to stay up. If they do, it'll be a miracle. Manchester City, the treble-winning Manchester City. Where will Manchester City finish? I think you already know the answer to this, but we're going to talk about it a little bit. Yes, we are. We know that a few players have left Manchester City. We know that Riyad Mahrez have left. Who else has left? Let me check here. Oh yeah, Gundo. He went to Barcelona. But they brought in some reinforcements, guys. They brought in Mateo Kovacic for Gundogan. I mean, you can't compare Mateo Kovacic to Gundogan, but I mean, Mateo Kovacic is still a very, very, very capable and very good player. Let's not forget that. And they just brought in Josko Gvardiol, a beast, an absolute beast. Have you seen him play? He's just incredible. What did they pay for him? Let me see here. They paid 90 million euros for Josko Gvardiol from Leipzig. 90 million? Do they even need him though because they have Nathan Ake? I don't know, but who cares? You know what I mean? They brought in an incredible player. Josko Gvardiol is going to be fantastic for Manchester City, and Manchester City will be Premier League champions once again. They will be, guys. That's what it is. They're going to be champions from one Manchester club to another, and now it is Manchester United. Where is Manchester United going to finish this season? This is going to be fun. Man United is going to be fun to watch this season. They brought in a few good players, honestly. They brought in Rasmus Højlund, obviously. They brought in Mason Mount from Chelsea, and they brought in Onana. What's his name? Onana. What's his name? You know the song. Anyways, you know the song. So Onana, he's going to be the most exciting player to watch in the Premier League this season, hands down. The stunts that he pulls off, I made a short about this. Just unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's actually going to be super entertaining. Now, how many errors will he make? I'm not 100% sure. How many goals will Man United concede? I'm not 100% sure, but even with Onana and Rasmus Højlund and Mason Mount, you know, those additions and the players that they do have right now with Bruno Fernandes and obviously Casemiro, I think they're still going to qualify for a Champions League spot. They still have a very, very good team. Let's, you know, put all the jokes aside. Manchester United will be playing in the or will qualify for the Champions League this season for sure. They will, absolutely. Newcastle United. Listen, besides Brighton having a surprising season last year and Chelsea having terrible surprising season last year, I think Newcastle United were the biggest surprise. I mean, Newcastle will be playing in the Champions League this season, guys. Newcastle is back in the Champions League, yeah, and they bolstered their lineup. I know that they lost Alain Saint-Maximin to Saudi Arabia. The Saudi Arabian gods snatched him and they took him, but they bolstered their squad. They did. Sandro Tonali came in from AC Milan. Very, very good signing. And they brought in Harvey Barnes from Leicester City. Yes, he's going to be playing for Newcastle this season. I think he's a really good player. I think he fits in very well at Newcastle. And where does Newcastle finish? Well, I don't think it was a fluke last year. I think they're going to miss out on the Champions League this season, unless, you know how the new thing is, you might have like 5 teams qualify for the Champions League or something. They're definitely going to finish in a European spot, 5th, 6th, or 7th, in the same category as like the Aston Villa and the Chelsea, battling out for a couple of European spots, but they're definitely in the conversation for more European football. No matter what happens in the Champions League with them this season, I think they're going to qualify for another European spot. And now we come to Nottingham Forest. Forest, yes, in my previous video, in my early video, before all the signings, before everything was done, all the transfers and everything, I put Forest to get relegated this season, and I think that was a mistake. I think Forest is going to stay up. Yes, Forest is definitely going to stay up. I mean, they survived just like Bournemouth, just like just like Everton last season, just barely. But I think this season they're going to kind of take a step forward and definitely stay up in the Premier League. They brought in some decent players. They brought in Anthony Elanga from Manchester United. Who else they brought in? Oh yeah, Chris Wood and Ola Aina. Remember Ola Aina? So they got him on a free transfer from Torino. Those are good players. They're good players to keep them up in the Premier League. I think they're players that have played in the Premier League, especially guys like Chris Wood. He's like a journeyman of some sort. He's got a lot of Premier League experience, and I think Forest stays up, guys. Honestly, I think Forest stays up. We're probably the bottom tier right here with the Bournemouth and the Burnleys and Fulham and Crystal Palace, but Forest is not getting relegated. Sheffield United, another Premier League newcomer. Well, not newcomer because they've played in the Premier League before. They're just newcomer for this season. But unfortunately, it's only going to be one season. You know, we're going to probably see some nice goals from Sheffield United and maybe a couple upsets, but at the end of the day, at the end of the 23-24 Premier League season, Sheffield United will be going down to the Championship. I'm sorry, Sheffield United fans. It's just not good enough for me. I think they're going to get relegated. Yeah. Tottenham. What's going on with Tottenham? New manager Ange has come in. What's he going to do there? How are players going to perform under him? No one knows. He is a quality manager though. What's happening with Harry Kane? No one knows. Is he going to Bayern Munich? Is he staying? Is he going to Real Madrid? What's happening with Harry Kane? Somebody tell me. Nobody knows, but I think the Tottenham season really depends on Harry Kane. I personally think he's going to leave. I think he will be sold, and I think Bayern Munich is the #1 destination. I think that's what he's going to go. And if he does go, there's been some rumors circling around Tottenham that if Harry Kane goes, they, Tottenham is looking at guys like Jonathan David from Lille, the Canadian striker who popped in, I think it was like 24 goals in France this last season. He was really, really good player. Trust me, I'm Canadian. He's a very good player. I follow Jonathan David. So if Tottenham fans, I mean, if Harry Kane goes and you get Jonathan David, you'd be getting a good striker. Is he as good as Harry Kane? Probably not. He's much younger than Harry Kane. But if Harry Kane leaves, I mean, it's going to be tough for Tottenham to compete, for those European spots. It really is. I think they're going mid-table. I think they're going to go mid-table, like, above Brighton and Brentford, like right there, maybe something like that. Probably 8th, maybe 9th. I think they're going to make progress though this year with the manager, but I just can't see them. I can't see Tottenham going to the top 4 4, maybe even top 6. There's so many good teams that are, you know, just better than Tottenham. West Ham United, Europa Conference League champions. West Ham United, how are they going to do this season? They're going to improve on their position last year, because last year they almost got relegated. West Ham almost got relegated, but they won the Conference League. It's like going in the opposite directions, you know? Winning the Conference League, and imagine if they got relegated. You'd have a Conference League champion relegated. It's just ridiculous, you know what I mean? I think West Ham definitely improves on their position this season, and I think they finish mid-table, probably right around there, like right behind Brighton. Also, don't forget that West Ham will be playing in the Europa League this season because they won the Conference League night last season. So you'll be seeing a lot of football from West Ham, and how will that affect the players? I don't know, but I think they definitely improved. I mean, they have a decent enough squad. You know, Declan Rice leaving is probably a big punch in the gut for them, but they have just signed Edson Alvarez from Ajax, I believe, who is also a midfielder. It's a clear replacement for Declan Rice. How is he going to do? I'm not sure. I mean, what are they spending? 40 million on him? So if you're spending 40 million on a player, it's got to be quality. I've seen him play maybe once or twice or whatnot, but yeah, I mean, I think West Ham finishes mid-table, guys. I think it's a fair result. And the final team, Wolves. Yes, Wolverhampton Wanderers. The Wolves, they've had many good seasons in the past 10 years, but I think their train has come to its final stop. The last couple of seasons, they've been underperforming. They've been disappointing. They were very bad last year and probably lucky not to get relegated last season. Jimenez has just left Wolves. Have they signed anybody? I haven't even checked. Let me check really quick. Oh, they have signed some players. They signed Mateus Cunha from Atletico Madrid for 50 million euro, and they signed Boubacar Traore from Metz for 11, and Matt Doherty has come back from Atletico Madrid to play at Wolves again. But they've also lost some players, guys. They've lost Nathan Collins. They've lost Conor Cody. They've lost Raul Jimenez, like I said before, and they lost Ruben Neves. That is a big one. Ruben Neves is a big loss for them, I think. Very hard to replicate. I can't believe Ruben Neves went to Saudi Arabia, especially at his age. I mean, yeah, hey, money. Follow the money, right? Follow the money. Anyways, Wolves, yeah, I think they're going to get relegated. They're going to be in 18th, but they still will get relegated. Sheffield finishes 19th, and I think Luton Town finishes dead last in 20th. You know what? No, we're going to change it. Sheffield United finishes in 20th. Luton Town finishes in 19th. Got to show Luton Town some respect. So there you have it, guys. That's my Premier League standings. That is my Premier League table prediction. Let me know what you think of that. Some may agree, some may not agree, and that's fine. We're all entitled to our own opinions. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I tried to make the video as fun as possible for you guys, and I'm excited for the Premier League season. Very excited. Let me know down in the comments who you will be cheering for this season. Maybe you have some sort of underdog who is going to underperform, who is going to overperform. Let me know all that stuff in the comments. Let's have a conversation about it. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have yourself a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Stay happy. Stay healthy. Watch this video for me. I would really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, peace.